I could pull a better podcast out of my head. Hey, kids, welcome to the Tempest Universe.
China.
Headline edition, July 8, 1947. The Army Air Forces has announced that a flying disc has been found and is now in the possession of the Army.
It's China to me, China.
Army officers say the missile, found sometime last week, has been inspected at Roswell, New Mexico, and sent to Wright Field, Ohio, for further inspection.
I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside.
China.
This is the Tempest Universe, man. Hold on to your ass. You're in for a hell of a ride.
Welcome to the Wednesday edition of the podcast. I don't know why this mic is so hot today. I mean, literally, I did nothing to it since the last episode. Maybe the last episode was loud as hell. Maybe that's the case. I have no idea. This is what Bill Gates has left us with in his absence. This train wreck that's called Windows. And I can't stand it. It drives me insane. But happy Wednesday, happy hump day to you guys who are listening on Wednesday. And actually, this podcast is going to air a little early because it's not pre-recorded today. Oh, sorry. Scratch that. Hold on. Let me let Elon reset me. All right. This podcast is not live today. It's pre-recorded. So I'll probably put it out there, about 8 o'clock, 8 p.m. So it'll catch a lot more of you on Wednesday. But some of you, like always, you'll catch it on Thursday. But, man, we've got some SpaceX news. And I know Elon's not happy about any of it. I'm actually pretty surprised at some of the news that's coming out of the SpaceX camp, because I literally, and I know it's not possible, but I literally felt that he was like, I don't know, like a Teflon Don, like nothing was gonna go wrong. Well, Teflon Don, nothing sticks to him, but still, I feel like he was just unbreakable, man, undefeatable. There was no chinks in his armor, but apparently there is. So we'll talk about that. That's actually 2 articles of SpaceX today. I was hoping to see an official launch date for the full Starship, the full Silver Phallus, but it's not happening yet. There's no announcement, thanks to the government and their EPA investigation and stuff like that. Still, man, if we lose a few birds, that's a lot more cars that are cleaner in that part of the country. So I don't get it. That's just the way it is. People gotta complain. Others gotta suffer. I don't know. Is this part of the whole cancel culture? I literally, for all of last year, I just didn't understand what cancel culture was. It made no sense. There could be such a thing. I guess that's what it is. I couldn't put it together. I couldn't fathom the idea that haters could get together and cancel stuff just because they felt like it, just because they whined, just because they whinged, as they say in Australia. Okay. That's what it is, I guess. We did hear finally, I think a few episodes back, probably at the end of the year, I was like, where is Texas Hellfire? And she's nowhere to be found. All of a sudden, she just dropped off the face of the earth. She's back. On Discord, no less. So Texas Hellfire, we were kind of chatting with her yesterday evening on the Discord, and I said, hey, for this momentous occasion, I'm going to send out another shout-out track to, Vladimir Putin, just to celebrate and say to Russia, it's okay. Some of us understand. We understand that, you got the pressure. So we'll get this going. And then we'll jump into the first story. There's actually one here that's so damn disappointing. I can't. Actually, it's the very first one we do. So disappointing, this thing. It makes me sad all over, not just internally, just all over. Check this out. need to make a note on my chalkboard here so I don't forget this, because it's got to be ingrained in my mind. The losers of the world want to cancel everything, etc., etc. Leave all your hope behind. It's dead. I actually have an article that I was going to bring forth today to present to you all. It was about how hot Uranus was. But, I mean Uranus. I don't know. It didn't have any good information in it. A lot of reptilian math, which I know you guys don't really like that. This article says that some scientists scanned the sky for 7 damn hours, and they were pretty much disappointed that they didn't find aliens. Are you serious? I mean, really? I don't understand. How did they get away with this? What middle school let their students put together a research paper like this? Okay, the article is not exaggerating. Like, I literally went to the paper itself. There's a link on it. It says, I think it says on there, the paper in the article, and it's the actual published document. Here's the abstract from the paper or the study, whatever they think this is. 7 hours. Come on. It says this paper is the fourth in a series of low frequency searches for technosignatures. And we know technosignatures are so popular because, everybody talks about them because no one knows the fuck. See what I mean? I'm reverting back to my old ways. No one really understands what alien technosignatures are because they're alien. But these guys searched for 7 hours, and they pointed their little antennas, the Murchison Wide Field Array, towards the galactic center of our galaxy, right? Somewhere around Sagittarius A. According to them, this field of view had about 200 million stars? Really? I'm sorry, no. It was wow, this is crazy. It's all over the place on this article. I'll give you a second here. Because I swear the number on the article says 3.3 million stars in the region. But I saw somewhere about 200 actually. But anyway, let's just say, actually, yeah, a blind search toward the nexus of 3 million stars. For the love of Pete. And they say that their search was targeted toward 144 exoplanetary systems. All right, that's where I get the close to 200. For 7 hours, you're going to search a part of the sky which totals 1% of the visible sky. 1%. And in 7 hours, you pencil protecting Poindexters looked at 3 million. You can't look at 3 million anything in 7 hours. Are you kidding me right now? And just because they gathered data from this part of the sky, which again, 1% of the visible sky, they determined there's no aliens. What if they all just turned off all their shit all at the same time because they knew you nitwits were listening? I don't get it. The paper is real. They actually did publish it. And you know what kills me is these scientific papers should be peer reviewed. Then one of their peers say, this is dumb. You literally wasted all this time that could have been booked by a real study at the Murchison Wide Field Array. I mean, this thing has over 4,000 antennas spread all over Western Australia. And you nitwits used 7 hours of it to come up with a shitty paper. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. And if this is your contribution to the current conversation, you guys need to dig yourselves a hole somewhere. You know, do like the ostriches do and stick your head in the sand, because this is nuts. I feel like this is what we're going to see. Like, literally, there's going to be scientists out there who do not believe that there could be extraterrestrial life out there, who are going to put out the most insane, ridiculous waste of every resource possible papers and research. And for most people who believe strictly in science, they will eat that shit up. They will believe every bit of it. And the rest of us, we just have to sit here in shock and awe. Completely shocked at the most ridiculous and understudied research paper on the planet. So 7 hours of data they got together in order to come to a conclusion. And the funny thing is, you know, scientists love to extrapolate. And basically that's what it is, right? You can't sample everything, so you take a small sample, which they call a representative sample, because you believe that little amount can speak to the rest of your sample that you've identified. And so they really believe that this little shithole of the galaxy is representative of the entire galaxy, even as much as the universe. And there's even a quote from them. If we extrapolate this, we are covering billions of stellar systems out of the center of our galaxy. You ain't covering shit. I'm making my nose run. This is what the study says. And, you know, kudos for this paper for not, this article here, for not blowing it up, you know, to make it seem it was more than what they actually did, because shit, they didn't do anything. Like, how can you blow this up? 7 hours. You have like decades upon decades, just in this country alone, the folks reporting alien crafts, visitation, abductions, and all that kind of stuff. But you guys spend 7 hours and say there's nothing out there. Put your tinfoil hats away. There's nothing. I don't know. I'm pretty sure they're going to receive, hopefully, a lot of negative attention from this madness. Maybe the cancel culture will go after them. Highly doubtful. Because they're not talking shit about anybody here or making light of, you know, deficiencies or accidentally saying something they shouldn't say. They're placating to the majority, and so they won't get canceled. They're all inclusive. They don't give a damn about anybody's ideas. They're presenting their 7-hour nonsense to the world. There's more in the article if you want to find out a little more. I don't know that anyone would want to, because it's a really sad paper, to be honest. And think about it. Do they even think about the connotations of what they're saying? I guess they do, because they probably figure they're the smartest people in the universe right now, because they ain't nothing out there.
couple nights at the flat. To be real, couldn't see me making moves while I'm at. I'm still on the grind, limit time when I chat. I'm burning down sage, keep the demons away. When I write it, give a piece of myself to the page. I don't do it for the praise, love, that's just how I'm made.
Truth in the glass in the mirror.
Yeah.
Do it at me, old man, tryna pass in the fear. You're the first one to talk, but the last one to hear. Eyes blurry, but I couldn't see the ass, and he cleared down. Start to feel like I'm on one. Settle in, I'll be here for the long run. I'm a slave for the cash, got snakes in the grass, no brakes on the ad, but it's all fun. We done seen it all, heard it all. Heard enough, give me space before I murder y'all. 10 bad bitches here, I'ma curve them all. 12 missed calls, and I still made a curtain call. Here to light it up, lighten up. Hear him talking, they ain't right enough, tighten up. Everything that I came for, I left with. I don't bang sets, I just bang on the set list. Going past supper when I came for the breakfast. Put me in your prayers, I might put you on the guest list. Young niggas in me reckless. Gold in my soul, got the same on my necklace, bitch.
Just cancel culture. Jeez Louise. I actually was digging the song and I like sat back and almost like snoozed away. This is my Wednesday. And jeez Louise. Black triangular UFO appeared in Chinese skies. The netizens, what the hell is a netizens? Say aliens monitoring Asian giant. Asian giant. There are so many cancel culture terms there. You can forget about it. This podcast is done. Literally. This is so not a PC article here. Who wrote this freaking thing? Let me see where it came from. IBT Times, India. Come on, you guys gonna get me canceled here? Cancel culture coming after me. The cancel crew. And actually, I was talking about Nick Popette on Monday. Nick Pope, and then I mentioned Scott C. Waring. Well, guess what? This is Scott C. Waring exclusive. They could be the cancel crew for UFOs. It's him. It's Scott and Nick together. They're like the X-Men. You know, we'll call them the cancel crew. And they're like the two leaders that kind of fighting amongst each other all the time. You know, Nick Pope has the super broom or super mop that he gets from under the MOD building. And Scott C. Waring has these really thick Coke glasses where he like sees pareidolia like miles away. And he can actually shoot pareidolia at you. And you'll be seeing all kind of stuff all the time. I'm telling you, that is it. That's the cancel crew. Anyway, Scott C. Waring released a video that shows a black triangular craft hovering in the skies of China. Number one, do the Chinese even got internet anymore? I mean, didn't they get that shit cut off like about 2 years ago? Didn't the Wuhan flu put all the internet technicians, you know, out of commission, so they had like no internet? I feel like that's what happened. I'm not sure where this is coming from. He said in his post, and he actually claimed, and he does this all the time, that back on June 24th of last year, he said it has to be a good 200 meters wide. 200 meters. Right? And there's a picture of this. Hopefully I'm able to put it onto the image for this particular episode. I don't know if it'll work or not, but I'll finagle it and see what happens. So I'm sure you guys are looking forward to seeing a black triangular craft on the podcast. He says the UFOs were checking out Beijing ahead of the Olympics, controlled by the Communist Party out there. What are they doing? Checking to see if they're cheating? What is wrong with him? Why does he come up with these crazy things? He says then he wonders if they're there to see if humans are foolish or great in allowing China to continue with the Winter Olympics. Like aliens don't give two shits about it. Really. Unless maybe there's an alien competing. Then I could see them, wanting to be an audience about it, checking out things, make sure nobody's cheating. Otherwise, who cares? I would not travel, hundreds of light years, all from Antarctica, just to see a bunch of people competing in the Winter Olympics. It just makes no sense. Then he goes on to say that maybe the aliens are confused about how and why the world allows the Olympics to be held in China, a country responsible for the release of COVID-19. I gotta say, I agree with him on that. Like, who screwed the pooch on that one? Like, you literally are sending all of these Winter Olympic hopefuls, all these amateurs, you're sending them into the belly of the beast. You're sending them into the Wuhan, the Wuhan flu central point, what is that, ground zero. I mean, listen, I don't really agree with him very much, almost never, but damn, I didn't even think about that. Like, everyone else has accepted the Wuhan flu as their own in trying to fight it, coming up with trying to come up with a cure or a vaccine or, putting up statistics of how many people have passed. They've made it their own disease. Well, we kind of forgot Wuhan is in China and it's their flu. Jeez, Scotty Waring, I guess maybe once every 10 years, he says something worth listening to. And I think he makes a very good point about the Wuhan flu. I'm sorry. We just gotta, call it how it is. Cancel culture, get on it. Anyway, he says also that to check John Hopkins Uni-COVID States Board. Stats Board. Okay, that's what I'm talking about, right? John Hopkins, they've got that stats board where you can see like the Wuhan reporting, all over the world. It's crazy. He says the John Hopkins stats says 5.7 million people have passed thanks to the Wuhan flu. And he says, can you forgive the Communist Party of China for that? I have no idea what the flying F that has to do with aliens or this triangular ship. But, damn. Scott C. Waring just stumped a mud hole in China just now and the rest of the world, too. I know as an athlete, the last thing I would want to wear, hell, I can't even wear a mask going grocery shopping, to be honest. It drives me insane. Could you imagine athletes having to be walking around, Wuhan ground zero and to be wearing a mask all the time? That's just, it's horrid. Are they doing that? I have no idea. I haven't watched the Winter Olympics since I was a kid. Since like middle school. And it was fantastic then, right? The thrill of victory, the agony of defeat. Man, some of the guys really went through some serious defeats, let me tell you. Heartbreaking defeats. But yeah, I'm not, since middle school, that's it. That's where it all ended for me. But you know what? I don't know about this triangular craft. In the picture that hopefully I'll have as the episode image, Yes, it looks like the bottom of a triangle or something in clouds. Let's be honest. I don't know if he blew it up, or if maybe this article, these people up in India and on IBT Times, if they blew it up. But it looks massive. It looks massive, undeniable that there's something in the sky. But it doesn't show you a comparison. I believe in the article it may show you a comparison of where the location of the craft is versus items down on the ground, buildings and such. But still, like, this whole article just went south. Like, to me, it has nothing to do. It feels more like Scott C. Waring is just trying to make a political statement about the Wuhan flu and the Olympics rather than talking about this triangular UFO. I'm just saying. So, I gotta say, man, kudos to him for recognizing this madness that is part of the Winter Olympics. That is just crazy. I don't know. I feel like a song now because, oh my God. Scott C. Waring, man, you did it. You did it. Check out the link in the description if you want to read a little more or see the picture itself.
Don't fucking scream at me. Where's you the money? Fuck you. Look at you with your fucking 48% body fat.
I was going through this article. I felt like Bart Simpson. Ay caramba. Ay caramba. Ay caramba. SpaceX satellites fall out of orbit. Really, I did not expect this to happen for a while. It actually for a very long while, right? Because they're able to, as most countries can, and most corporations that put satellites in low orbit, they're able to adjust the orbit, right? Just in case some crap happens, some shit goes down, they can adjust it and, not lose their property. And really, whatever it is that thing's doing, whether it's collecting and reporting data, taking pictures, moving data around the planet, whatever it is. But 40 to 49 satellites that Elon and SpaceX put into space are going to either burn up in the atmosphere or they're pretty much history. Period. Apparently, not too in the distant past, there was a geomagnetic storm. That storm, and of course, there's a little bit of science for you, which I was not aware that this happened, but whenever the sun decides to fart on us, there is a thickening of the atmosphere. It makes it real dense. And so what happened was that these satellites ended up having extra drag that wasn't accounted for when this storm happened. So they started to lose altitude. Apparently the folks on planet Earth for SpaceX, they tried to kind of put them in a hibernation mode and then try to guide them to try to decrease the amount of drag they were getting from this thicker, denser atmosphere. But unfortunately, it didn't pan out. So the satellites themselves did not wake up. They didn't wake up to the commands that tell them, get up, go higher, go higher. No, they didn't. No. They just kept on plummeting. Yep. So he has close to around 2,000 satellites. Mine is like 50. He's down to 1950. Now, a lot of these are up at, 550 kilometers above the Earth. So it's still quite the feat for him, right? Especially when he's aiming to, 10 to 20 times that amount. 20 to 40,000. Could you imagine another significant solar storms happens and he's got like 45,000 of these Starlink satellites? Can you imagine most of them coming down towards the planet? Do you know what that would look like in the sky? It would be freaking amazing. At this point, I'm even looking forward to it happening. Like, when's the next solar storm? I want to see the fireworks. I want to see fire in the sky. But as of late, it turns out that SpaceX has had a run of luck since, the end of the first quarter of last year or something like that. It just keeps going. It continues to be, as they say, a shit show. And stuff just keeps adding up, man. Like, we haven't heard, there was a lot of sexual harassment lawsuits at SpaceX as well. Out in California. Don't know what happened to that, but I'm sure, when it comes to stuff like that, they close the books to the public. I'm sure someone's going to leak it. Someone's going to let people know what the heck went down. Now, SpaceX says that this was a unique situation. And so they don't understand what went wrong, but now they're aware. They're making adjustments. They've been educated. Got that quote from The Rock. He said that recently about Joe Rogan. Another cancel culture almost victim, I guess. I mean, shit, I don't know. But anyway, listen, that's just the way it is. So this might be something that they did not account for, because the way that this geostorm happened, it was unexpected, and there was no indications that it was going to happen. So, they literally caught them with their pants down at home or at a corner somewhere with the mistress they paid for. I don't know. Well, nerds usually don't do that. But that's the way it goes. So check it out. Besides that, what can you do? I mean, they're freaking constantly launching these Starlinks up, so they'll make up for it. So it's okay if they lost 49 Starlinks and some remote, indigenous tribe in the Amazon lost their porn. I mean, it's okay. They can survive. We can survive. It's all good. It's all good. They'll get it all back in no time. I promise you. For sure. Check out this song.
I see a sky with a reindeer car, but I'm not running. I see a train moving all too fast, but I'm not leaving. And you go round and round and round, and you cannot see. I will right behind you, a hawk in the tree. You look so beautiful today, and how the game is changing. Just like a stranger, suddenly you're something. I move at the speed of light, and this is something I wouldn't dare to think I would be doing. And you go round and round and round, keep your head up high. I'll be right behind you like a drone in the sky. You look so beautiful today, and now the game is changing. Just like a stranger trying to let you in.
SpaceX, NASA investigating parachute lag during Last Dragon recovery. It just keeps going. It's the gift that keeps on giving. That's why Elon, that's why he's so upset. He's screaming at everyone. Hey, when NASA gets involved, the shit has hit the fan, basically. It really has. Like, I remember when the Crew Dragon was not the Dragon capsule was first being tested, right? I don't think they called it the Crew Dragon yet, but the thing has rockets on it if you actually look at a picture of it, I think it's either 3 or 4 rockets that it can use to land a powered landing, basically, kind of like, the other SpaceX rockets do. But one of them blew up. One of the rockets blew up during a test, and so, NASA was like, no, we're not going to do that. No, nope, get a parachute. Right, so they kind of shied away from it, I'm sure you don't want to see, national heroes blow up on TV as the Crew Dragon is trying to land. That makes for bad publicity. On February 2nd, NASA reported / confirmed that there was a minor parachute issue. They call those anomalies in the recent descent and splashdown. Now, there's a reason why they really haven't made a big thing about it, right? But we'll get to that in a second. So this was the Cargo Dragon 2, which on the 23rd, it took off with a bunch of stuff, about 2.2 tons of stuff, science, experiments, equipment, and a bunch of other stuff up to the ISS. So, successfully it deorbited, whatever, started to enter the atmosphere, deployed the parachutes, and, splashed down. Everything's good off the coast of, off the Gulf of Mexico. And SpaceX recovered the craft, and hey, we're doing it again, woo! Not so fast. They waited a bit before they acknowledged the fact that one out of the 4 parachutes kind of got off a little late. It didn't go up with the other 3. And that really is the reason why they kind of held off on this, right? Because, 3 out of 4 is not bad. So it's a little late to the party, so what? But apparently, SpaceX kind of releases these a little early anyway, all right? So at the time that it finally completely inflated this parachute, or caught some air, it was still able to effectively slow down the vehicle. But unfortunately, this also happened with the Crew Dragon. Do you know the pucker factor that these astronauts go through, when it's time to come back? Especially the ones in the first Crew Dragon, because they saw, 6-7 months ago, or maybe a little more than that, when that Dragon capsule blew up in the testing area. So I'm sure that when they get off these things, they're all kind of stiff. It's because they've had that pucker going the entire way down, and so your whole body gets stiff. But even with the Crew 2, there was a lagging parachute then also. So it doesn't appear to be just one of the capsules. There's an issue somewhere. But according to NASA, the crew, the capsules, the empty capsules coming back, or from delivering junk or bringing material back from the ISS, can still actually make a successful landing if only 3 of the chutes deploy. Now, so far, all we've had is a small delay. None of the chutes have failed yet. But that's enough to get NASA on the job, right? So they're going to go, I'm sure, through every single nook and cranny at SpaceX. They're going to look at what said what, who said what, and what neutron went into what proton in order to figure out why there was this delay. Because let's be honest, if it's some kind of a random system issue that could multiply to all 4 chutes, we've got a problem. We could see a splat somewhere, and it won't be pretty. Not something you want to have on television or YouTube for millions to see. This is, as they used to say in wrestling, what is that? Injury after insult? Something like that. Adding injury to insult. This is what's happening. So, on top of everything that's going around, it's weird to see SpaceX still trying to stack the Starship down in Boca Chica, Texas, because it looks like they just got a lot of things going on. A lot of bad things, not things that they can be happy about, right? But, listen, I feel like we are going to see that Starship take off. They'll fix this, I'm sure. They'll find the answer to the Dragon capsule problems. Sexual harassment, who knows? I'm sure they will use money to get out of that one. Cancel culture. But we'll see. I don't think any of these things are going to stop SpaceX. It'll make them stop and think, right? Yeah, I'm sure at the corporate level, they're going to have some new rules around here. At the space level, they need to check them damn Starlinks. And in Boca Chica, geez, they just need to get that thing going. That's the end of today's rant. We're headed towards the weekend. We will catch up again on Monday, the saddest day of the week. And maybe we'll have some good news from someone. But, I gotta say it again. Kudos to you, Mr. Pareidolia Pete, for bringing forth the discussion of the Wuhan flu. Ciao.
I've been wasting my time. I don't know why I can't get you out my mind. Yeah. So lost, where do I go? I was in the chase, caught a flat on road. It was all love, X no O. I was feeling rich, but we turned out broke. Guess I let my feelings take control. Guess I let my demon take the wheel. Used to think that we be growing old. I can't believe that it was real. It was back in late December when I did it. I just wish I could forget. Cause I hate how much I love it. Oh, I hate how I just love to catch a feel. Yeah. I've been wasting my time. I don't know why I can't get you out my mind. If I find a way to get it, when I do it, I can live it and forget it. Cause I hate how much I love you, or I hate how you just put me in my feelings.
Take the wheel. Used to think that we be growing old. Now I can't.